Lisa,
Yes, baby girl.
when I grow up, I want to be a womanist to society.
And so shall you be.
Hey, this is Lisa Landry. Welcome to Womanist to Society. I have the privilege today of speaking with Katy Wilson. Hello, Katy.
Well, good morning.
You're out in sunny San Diego, yeah?
Yeah, and it's gorgeous today. It was a little chilly a couple of days ago, and we think that we're dying when that happens.
So it's all good today. But you're from Oklahoma originally, yeah?
I am in the sticks in the middle of nowhere south of Tulsa.
Oh my gosh. And how did you end up in Cali?
Well, unfortunately, it's the story that I think is the least attractive, and that is I followed a boy, which, yeah, that's just it irks me because that's so the story that so many women followed a boy. And every once in a while I'll meet someone who says, I just picked a dot on the map and I went there because I was living large. I'm like, dude, I should have been that girl. But I followed a boy and was married to that boy for a long time, and now we're no longer. But I love San Diego. I've been here for 20 years. This year, actually, this spring is my 20th anniversary in San Diego.
And it flies by, right? Because it's sunny pretty much every day, so you lose track of time.
Yeah, honestly, I am spoiled rotten, and I have a client right now that I'm working with who is relocating from Chicago, and she giggled because, it's like, 60 degrees, and I'm wearing a snow parka. And she's just laughing. She's like, what is going on? And, of course, in the car, she's rolling down the windows while I'm turning on the heat. So
it's just like the crazy here.
Yeah, I feel really blessed to live here, and my blood has definitely, I guess thinned out, so I love it.
No, I totally get it. I've lived in the desert for so long. If it's under 70, I start to shiver.
Yeah. Now, I did live for a couple of years in Phoenix before I came here, and I moved here in June, and that entire summer I wore a sweater. I thought I was dying from Phoenix to San Diego because cool ocean breezes got me.
What's it like to work in real estate there? It's got to be a pretty competitive market.
Oh my Lord, it's super competitive. On the one side, you just love everything here. Like, it's really hard, to see anything and not just love it because of the location. But on the flip side, it is so super competitive. I mean, like, I had another relocation client last year, and he was from the Midwest, and he couldn't even process that, wait, that little thing is $1 million. And, so there was that. And then there's also we wrote 7 offers in 10 days, all over asking price, and we didn't get any of them accepted. So we have to really be competitive. And one of the things that serves me really well is that I know how to make friends really well with the other agent on the other side. I'm lucky, and I'm told it's my Oklahoma charm that people connect with me and they feel safe and, like I'm going to take good care of them. And so on that end, I really just milk the heck out of that to build a relationship with the other agents in hopes that my client is going to get that, get a little extra sweet in the pot.
Right. Get them closer to their dreams with your country charms.
I guess so.
You're one of those sweetest pie girls who could cut a bitch, huh?
A little bit.
What's it like to be a woman in real estate? Because that's kind of male-dominated, isn't it?
I think that it's really a heavy female influence here. I think what it's like to be a woman in real estate is a question for both sides, the male or female. If you're working with men, it's a matter of keeping things professional. And because I am kind of casual and personable, sometimes that's misunderstood as being too friendly. And I'm, my intentions and where I sit is very professional, but, very humanistic, and let's connect and be friends. And so I have to watch that side of it.
You mean like giving out slut energy? Do they see that as slut energy?
I might, just a smidge, I guess. Only on days that end in Y, I don't know.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Tell me the difference with the females.
Well, with the females, it's a lot of intimidation, a lot of, that women cutting women kind of energy. And I can't tell you how many side texts I've sent to agents saying, hey, I feel like there's maybe something contentious happening. I want you to know I care about you and your client as well as this deal. Let's end this on a great note. Know that I'm coming from a place that serves you as well. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times, I just have to kind of redirect their energy because I'm like, wait, I'm not playing this way. This isn't where I'm coming from. So yeah.
That's kind of sad.
It's super sad. I just want to hug everybody and tell them to get over it.
And then go for the kill.
Well, I don't know. I don't kill too much. Can't we all just get along? We're going to close the deal and hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Let's start the deal off with a good energy here.
Yeah, but, and then on the flip side, there is that strategic, that's, the strategy. Yeah. So, trying to be mindful of being strategic, but at the same time, honoring who I am and the reason my clients hire me, which is to have a good time and feel trust and feel comforted.
Is that what people should look for in a real estate agent? The first thing they should look for is trust or better listings? So. How do you pick a real estate person?
I think you need to ensure that they have some experience. You need to ensure that this is actually their full-time job. There's a lot of folks out there with real estate license that, we have, I can't even remember what the numbers are. It's like 40,000, I think, was the number of agents in San Diego, but it's only 5,000 that are actively really working on a daily basis.
Wow.
Yeah. So the one that just happens to have their license and I'll cut you a deal on the commission, but, potential is you might end up in court after the sale of your home because something went south. That's not how you want it. You don't want money on the front end to then have a big court battle on the back end. So there's a lot of are they an actual professional? What are they doing to further their education and stay competitive? What is their relationships with their industry peers? Because my relationship with an industry peer may get your offer accepted. Are they seeing them regularly at the broker roundtables and the broker caravans? Are they professional and standing up? And then at the end of the day, whose best interest do they have? Are they commission breath? Are they money hungry? Right. So yeah. So I think be intuitive and do you get a good feel on this person?
Well, why would these people get a license if they're not going to sell real estate full time? What would be the benefit of that?
Maybe they wanted to buy and sell properties for themselves. Maybe, and that's a matter of then they just keep the commission. But there's so many subtle nuances to real estate and there's so many laws and there's not a single deal that I don't learn something on and there's not a single office meeting that I don't come away with something. So constantly filling your knowledge bank is huge. And so if they're going to do their own deals, they could be setting themselves up for more harm than it's worth. Mm-hmm. But especially if they're going to do somebody else's deals with that little lazy certificate in their back pocket. And then, the other thing too is maybe they were in the industry and they couldn't hack it. And so now they've got that and they're working at something else, but they're helping friends and family. It's a scary industry when it comes to knowing your stuff. And I just can't believe, I'm advocating for standards to be raised for the licensing anyway.
Like what? What does that entail?
Well, that would be at the state level. So it's supporting your local associations for lobbying toward those goals. So working at pushing for, more regulation on the annual deals, and having to certify and, set a separate criteria for that, just to identify and separate and raise the bar of what's required. And if you're not doing a certain amount of deals annually, because you do learn so much through every deal, but if you're not doing a certain amount of deals, then you're looking at doing higher education, more requirements on your education.
So this would be like really protecting consumers.
Oh, heck yeah. That's the whole point of it. Our fiduciary duty, straight up, is that, period.
You sound like one of those people of integrity, ma'am.
Well, I do come from Oklahoma.
If you're too messy, you'll get shot.
That's right.
How many hours do you work in a week, average?
Oh, well, if you're not working deals, it's pumping the pipeline constantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're constantly pumping that and working it. So, 70 hours a week. I'm working a ton, and we don't actually get paid for what we work.
Right.
We get paid on the harvest of what we work. So you're constantly marketing, you're constantly beating the pavement. Reevaluating the area, running the stat, relationship building, everything is networking. And the good news for me is this all really flows with who I am, and I like to be out there, and I like to go to events and get to know people and have relationships. And through those relationships, I've come to have a lot of clients, because they're like, hey, she was so great. She did these things for me that I didn't ask her to do, because she wanted to, because that's where her heart was. And now I trust her with my real estate deal.
You're a beast for your work, aren't you?
I like it. It's my magnificent obsession. I really like it. It's the expression of me. It's probably the best expression of me, because Lord knows it kicks the butt out of me, my version of being a mother.
Oh, how many kids do you have?
I only have one, but I really suck at it.
Well, they are a challenge.
I love her to pieces, but as far as being like the, craft mom and PTA mom, I struggle.
Yeah, you're more of a drive-through mom.
Yeah, well, no, I'm more of a, I don't know, what are you going to do for dinner, Mom? I don't know, I hadn't gotten there, I was working. And that's really selfish and bad, and I don't mean to be that way, but she's learning to be quite self-sufficient.
That's a good lesson.
Yeah. So, we just have the one. She's 12, and she just went to 6th grade camp. That's a thing here in San Diego. The kids go to 6th grade camp every year.
What do they do there?
Well, that's what I've been trying to figure out, because I think her butt needs to be in school way more than it is. I'm just like, you're out again for what? Next week, they're out for ski week. That's a thing here. Like, they get out for ski week. Everybody goes skiing next week. Do
they go as like a field trip? Is this an adventure? Or they're just expected to go with you, but you're...
As families, you just get out for ski week.
This is a very bougie school district.
Yeah, I'm in. She gets you're out for school for the folding flyers and passing them out week. I'm too clumsy. I don't ski.
I wouldn't like it either. I mean, I grew up in the South. We didn't have that option. You could water ski, but there were a lot of snakes in the water, so I didn't really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But I can't see the joy.
You're my kind of people. I get it. We have water moccasins.
Exactly. So why would you mess with that? And plus, why would you put your body on two little pole things and slide down a mountain?
I freaking walk into walls on my own regular feet. Putting something else on them and saying, now navigate, is a failure before it begins.
But maybe you could broker a bunch of deals if you were skiing this week with your neighbors.
Yeah, they say do things like that, but it's not going to happen. They also say play golf, and I'm like, I injured myself the last time I did that too. So I'm just I'm clumsy and hug a lot. That's kind of me as a realtor.
I'm a Teletubby with keys.
I love that.
Let's go. What do you think will happen with the real estate market now that recreational pot is legal in California? Do you think the market will change like that happened in Colorado?
I don't. The Colorado situation is a lot more accommodating of marijuana. Yes, we've got it legalized on the ballot, but the reality is that each local community is able to manage and restrict it.
Got it.
Based on the city. And like, for instance, here in San Diego, they have so many restrictions on it that it's almost impossible to get the permitting. So really what's going to happen, and what we've already seen, is the amount of THC is lessening and the price is raising. So there's the way the regulations have worked in San Diego, it's making it harder for people to move forward with that concept than they originally planned.
Okay. So there won't be many changes.
We're a military town. We're a military town. There's a lot of conservative values here.
Oh, but that's very conservative. Our Constitution's written on hemp, so it'd be like going back to the founding fathers.
Yeah, right? I know.
Do you get a lot of military people that you need to help find a home while they're there for a few years?
Tons. Yeah, that's a huge influence here. So I'm a VA specialist, and that means that I understand the ins and outs of working with the VA loan, the VA home loan. And so having that skill set, that knowledge, and just being of service to our service providers. One of my big frustrations in the industry is that a lot of people will be sitting on their VA home loan. The military doesn't do a good job of educating our service members of their real benefits, and the realtor community doesn't do a good job of talking to them about that either. And so people will go in with conventional or FHA loans, and they would have financially done better for themselves if they'd gone with a VA loan. But nobody said, hey, are you service affiliated? Are you service connected? What's your relationship? Have you served? Has anyone in your household served? And just by having that conversation and enabling oh, well, you know what? You need to look back at your records. You may be sitting on a VA home loan. You know, they're just that's not being put in front of them.
That's so sad.
It is so sad. So, and I think it's a disservice. So I think, you know, it's just a big thing that we all need to work on being better at.
Oh, completely. We do not take care of our veterans.
No, we don't. And we're in San Diego. That's one of the things that we see because we are so military, you know, such a big military town. We see our service-connected vets, you know, on the streets. That's, you know, that's actually because our weather's so great. Yeah. We do see a lot of veterans, a lot of homeless veterans here. You know, the smaller organizations try to do more, but as a whole, as a country, we don't do enough.
No, it's a travesty. It truly is.
Absolutely.
Now, see, if somebody had a VA loan and you had their paperwork in, do those people get preferential treatment, or it's just that the bid has to go through and you get lucky or not?
Well, no. Unfortunately, one of the reasons that they might not get preferential treatment is because the VA loan actually has it has requirements. So the VA is backing this loan, and in order to back it, they need to ensure that it is definitely a good investment, that it's good for the home buyer. And so some of the things that, you know, regulations on stair railings, of course, you know, we want children's heads not to go through stair railings and children to be safe, but they end up being so much stricter on those things, stricter on a lot of the details about the home itself, the location of the home. And so sometimes a home seller will not choose to go with a VA buyer because they don't want to be stuck in the middle of escrow requiring to fix a few things to close the house. And the VA won't back it, they can't get approval, and it won't close. So we're in escrow, they're not getting approval on the repair request. So that's the kind of thing that sometimes a really cheap seller will say, no, I don't want to go through that hassle. And especially in a market like this where inventory is so low. You know, if you think about San Diego, on the south, we have Mexico, we have the border. To the north of us, we have LA, and everybody just doesn't want to go up there. Right. To the west of us is the water, and to the east of us is desert. And so we're really kind of locked in this little box where inventory is just at a premium.
Yeah, there's only so much real estate that's going to happen there, and it's pretty much all done.
Some of the fun things that have happened, like in the last year, they've worked on zoning to enable individuals to be able to build like guest houses or rental properties on their property. Mm-hmm. So, you know, in town, you can build space in your backyard that you could use as rental property, rental income, or so you can have a second domicile on your property. And so they've opened up zoning for things like that because we're definitely at a conflict with the space here.
That's incredibly imaginative to go ahead and open that up. I mean, it's going to change the landscape, I would reckon, after a few
I would say, I think in about 15 years, I think in about 15 years we'll see the real benefit of that because, you know, individuals aren't going to run out and do that right away because it's personally funded. But, you know, there's programs like I have a Unison homeowner program that enables people to, it's like an equity investor. They're able to pull from their current home value a certain percentage of cash that they can do whatever they want with, and they don't have any monthly payments or interests on it, and they don't have to really worry about it until they sell or if the market goes takes a downturn, they can buy it out while the buyout is low. So there's some fun things like that homeowners can do to then, and we're seeing them take it and in turn put a rental property on their land.
That's terrific.
And that's central San Diego. That's not even like rural San Diego. That's like right in the mix of things.
Well, that's certainly going to change dynamics, I guess, right? You put the casita in the backyard and then your kids don't ever leave. They just gather their belongings after college, move back in.
Yep.
Katy, thank you so much for talking with us today and letting us know so much about real estate. I had no idea.
Well, yeah, it's my pleasure. Obviously, I like this subject, so I can go on and on.
How did you come up with the name for your real estate company, Wilson Luck?
Wilson Luck Real Estate Group. And the way that came about is my family, my husband, for years, his family, if you got anything good, it's like, oh, well, that's because you have Wilson Luck on your side. And just this Wilson Luck notion has kind of an identity all of its own. It's like another family member in our household. And as I started up my business years ago, I said, to me, there's just no other name. And I had already bought the domain. And so Wilson Luck Real Estate Group, and it's wilsonluck.com. And you can reach me at kate@wilsonluck.com. So
you're adorable. You're like the Remington Steele of feng shui. Like we're going to go with this made up family number. That's going to be our energy house. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. You get me. What you just said, you get me.
It's happy. Well, that's terrific.
Well, y'all are happy. Y'all are cute. I love this. This is fun.
Thank you so very much for being part of the podcast, Katy. And if you're in San Diego and you need real estate, you really probably do need to check out Wilson Luck.
Well, hell, if you just want to have a cup of coffee, call me. It's fun. We'll have coffee on the beach.
Thanks, y'all, for listening. Please come back to next Womanist Wednesday. You can find me on my website, lisalandry.com. And if you sign up for my newsletter, you will receive a free audio download. Shout out, Ari. I love you, little boo-boo.